Spotify, and we've got Kyle of Real Friends with us. Thanks for coming by.
Hello, happy to be here.
Happy. I know you're on tour right now. Thank you so much for doing this. It's hard. You guys are jumping around. Where are you right now?
We're in Portland,
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah. Very stoked to be here. It's Halloween, so
Happy
yeah.
Halloween. Are you dressed as a rock star? What are you going as?
Um, we haven't really talked about it. I feel like we're not the dress up type. um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like our production on this tour also is like I don't want to say like serious, but there's like clouds and like it's like very like cool and vibey and like I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know the costumes. I don't know if it make it feel too off, you know.
If it
Um,
would throw it off. Yeah.
yeah, just yeah, and like we have never really been the like dress up type. We did dress up once. We dressed up as Starbucks employees um, because someone brought us aprons, like custom Starbucks aprons actually. Um,
Aw.
yeah, so we just put those on and. Yeah, I remember I posted a picture of me in that costume and I said, this is what I'm going to be doing in a year when the band doesn't work out, working at Starbucks. And
Well,
people
hopefully
like that. So,
it always does work out, but it's good to have a backup plan. And
yes,
then after
I've got
Portland,
the
you guys are
apron.
coming. You're ready to go to Starbucks. You guys are gonna head south to Sacramento, and you're playing at our venue, Ace of Spades, on Saturday night. Everyone's got to go check you guys out. What a lineup! This is like a pop punk emo dream come true. I can't wait to go to the show.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. We always have a good time in Sacramento, and we're really excited to play Ace of Spades. I think we actually haven't been there in a very long time, so yeah,
Oh no way!
very
Yeah,
excited.
it's a good venue. It's hot. I just saw Under Oath there last week, and just
Oh, really? That's awesome.
yeah, it's small but like really fun. You know what I mean? Like we all get tightly packed in there, and I dig that
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, it's gonna be
Okay,
good.
so Blue Hour is out. How has Blue Hour changed? You guys are independent now. You're not with a label. Tell us about the new album.
Yeah, it came out. It's been out for just a couple weeks now, and yeah, we released it without a record label, which was a big kind of thing for us to do. Especially, we released a couple songs without a label recently, but to take on a whole album is just such a different thing. You know, there's just so much that goes into it. But yeah, it's been really fulfilling, and it's gone over really well. Like every night on tour, we're hearing people tell us how much the album means to them, and like it's also been very refreshing. I was just telling someone last night in Seattle that there's been so many people talking about the album as a whole, and like not just like one or two songs, which I think in today's world is like I feel like is rare, just because
Very rare.
I feel like it's more about the like singles and like just attention spans are a lot shorter, you know, and like uh, yeah, so that was just cool, and like we really actually this time around intentionally tried to make an album like all the other times before was literally like 10 songs stacked on top of each other, you know, and this time we really focused on the flow of the album and just ups and downs and everything. And it's cool to see it pay off. And because honestly, I was kind of like, this is cool for us, like, but people are gonna like their couple songs and, you know, like cherry pick what they want to like. But and I'm sure that there's still that happening, of course, which is great either way. But just for people to really take it in as a whole, the amount of people that I've heard talk about it is just like very fulfilling, and that feels really good in 2024 to have people be like, yeah, I listened to 13 songs in one sitting, and like I loved it, and like it connected with me, and I just feel like that is such a hard thing to do now because attention spans are just shorter and shorter, you know?
It's a rarity these days. That's what I was just gonna say, to have the attention span of your audience to sit and listen to a whole album. But that's cool. You guys wanted to tell a story from like start, middle to finish and piece it together in a magical way. How is the difference between like Cody now as the lead vocalist?
Yeah, I think this album with him, I mean, Cody's been with us for 4 years now, but this is his first full length album with us. So we've released singles and EPs with him. Um, and I really feel like it kind of all makes sense now because I feel like now he's just really come into his own with this album, and I feel like he really developed sort of his character of uh, just just like the other stuff that we've done with him is great and it's awesome, but I just feel like he just really owned his role more in this album. Like a lot of people have been talking about just the songs and how they feel the emotion from the vocal delivery and everything. And yeah, I think he just really kind of set into that and just really has more of a personality where some of the other stuff, especially some of the earlier stuff we did with him, it's awesome. It sounds great, but I think we're still trying to like navigate. You know, I mean, like we had another singer for almost 10 years, and it's
Yeah.
like there's kind of it's there's no like rule book or like directions like how do you do this like, and I think I've learned that it just takes time. You know, it's like I would have loved to 4 years ago come out with this album as the first thing we did with Cody. You know, it's like that would have been great. You know, but I think it's like anything else in life, it just takes time. You know.
Yeah, the timing was right, and he's officially a member of the band when you got a whole album out with him now. You can't get rid of him.
No,
Um,
yeah, he's here to stay.
he's in. What is Midwest Trash?
um,
I saw
so
that.
So that's technically like what we're calling our record label that we're releasing our music
Okay.
under, which is really just it's just like the name we can. It's not like actually a record label with an office and other bands. It's just like it was like, do you want to call it just like Real Friends, or do we want to come up with a name for it? You know,
Yeah.
like when you submit it to Spotify and everything. And Midwest Trash was something that we had been saying for years. It was just like it's on a lot of our merch and stuff too, and like it was kind of just like a joke. Like whenever we'd play in the Midwest, we would just be like, "Yeah, we're Midwest Trash," and the fans would be like, "Yeah, us too," and like
Yeah.
it was just it's just kind of this like funny little thing, and like it was something that already meant something to us, and we were just like, let's use it for the name, and like people have really attached to it. So
Are you guys still based in Chicago?
yeah, we are. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We're based out of the Chicago suburbs. Three of us still live there. Two other guys do not live there, but we do claim Chicago as home. So
Okay. And tell me about your poem book that I read came out. It's called Nothing Memorable Stays the Same. Are you still
yes,
writing poems? Is that your thing?
yes, I am. So I do a lot of lyrics in the band, and that had kind of made me shift to doing poetry as well, because I kind of got to a point where I had like so many lyrics and stuff, and like there's just some things you can't write songs about, you know, like because a poem can literally be like a sentence, you know, technically.
Yeah.
So just kind of opened up more avenues for me to just do writing, you know. And I released a book in 2018, which is Nothing Memorable Stays the Same, and then I have another book that I released in I think it was 2021 called Spiraling. So yeah, and they're both on Amazon as well if anyone is interested. And I do usually have some on tour for sale as well.
What inspires you to write? Is it more like a really happy, gleeful time or a really sad, kind of shitty time?
It's always sad, I think,
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
You know, like I don't feel the need to write when it's like good. When things are all fine, it's like I don't know. There's just something about I think being in the midst of something and in the middle of something that makes me like writing is like therapy, you know.
Yeah.
And I think as you know, we've been doing this now for 14 years, and it's like to write and then have other people get something out of it as well. Like I almost feel like I like have a calling, you know, and I feel like a responsibility almost. You know, there's so many people that have said like I've grown up with your music and I've you got me through high school, it got me through college, and now I'm married and have kids, and like I don't know, there's this responsibility with it. I don't feel like a pressure from it. Like I feel proud to have that, you know. And yeah, so I mean, for me, it is a personal therapeutic type thing. But like I said, it's also just feels like it's all I know. Like this band is and writing and everything. Like this is it for me. Like there's no backup.
Yeah.
There's a Starbucks apron, but I don't want to put that on.
And you're in a coffee shop right now, so if you could get hands-on experience right now to
Yeah,
train
I could get an application.
for the backup. Okay, you also wrote all day I'm going to think about where I'm going to eat dinner, and I vibe with that really hard. Like it's a big thing to figure out what you're going to eat every night while you're alive on this planet. Is that still an issue for you?
Yeah, I feel like that is tough, especially on the road. Like at
Yeah.
home, I do eat at home more. Like when I'm at home, like I'll try to cook stuff or just have stuff at home. But on the road, I mean, it's tough. I mean, every single day, you got to think about it. Like every single one of us is looking on our phone, restaurants, like on the Maps app, and there's
Yeah.
all these places to eat, and there's a lot of bad choices to make. There's a lot of good choices to make, you know. So, but yeah, but for as long as we've been doing it, though, I feel like we kind of have our spots that we know, in certain towns and stuff. So,
Yeah. What's been like a silly thing that's happened on this tour? Kind of like a weird thing.
a weird thing. Um, our merch guy broke his ankle the first day.
Oh
So,
no. Selling
yeah.
merch or what was he doing?
He was in the trailer just like moving stuff and just tripped and literally fell out of the trailer and broke his ankle. Um,
Oh.
yeah, so that was
Is he
kind of rare.
hobbling around to work table though? Is he still
Yeah,
getting
he's still with
around?
us actually. I thought he was gonna go home. Like I was like prepared for him to be like, yeah, I need to leave, but he was like, I'm gonna try to make it work, and he's made it work. So,
Oh,
um,
good.
yeah,
Good. Can we do random fun question time?
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. If you could be any age forever, what age would it be and why?
Oh gosh, probably like 21, 22, because
Yeah.
it's like you have that freedom, but you also like have like you're still young though, but like you're not too young. Like you can
You're
go do
taking
whatever you
risks
want. Yeah,
still.
but you look back and you're kind of like, yeah, I was kind of dumb when I was 21, 22. But you
Yeah.
don't realize that when you're that age. Like you're just kind of like you think you know it all.
I thought I was an adult and I had it all figured out, but I was a
Oh no.
baby and I'm
Yeah.
still figuring it. I'm in a midlife crisis and I'm still figuring it out, but it's all
Yes.
good. Never grow up. Which celebrity would you choose to be best friends with?
Um. What? I guess probably Adam Sandler. I
He'd
feel
be
like that'd be
funny.
cool.
He'd be a
Yeah.
really funny. I liked his music back in the day. Like,
Oh yeah.
did you ever hear the goat that he did? This whole bit about a goat tied up to a trailer?
I I have, but I it's been so long. I don't.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was in the late 90s, but I still listen to it like every couple years and it's really funny. If you guys have time on the tour, listen to The Goat by Adam Sandler. It's just great. It's so good.
Yeah, he actually uh like a he has a new stand up on Netflix, and there's another one that he did like 3 or 4 years ago that's really good, and he does a lot of music in it actually. So
Yeah, he's so multi-talented. It's really neat.
yeah.
What is your favorite band memory with real friends?
Um, I think there's so many, but the first that comes to my mind is in 2014 we played Warp Tour, and the Warp Tour when it used to be a full tour, like they actually came to the amphitheater that was in the town that we're actually from. Like, well, we're from a town called Tinley Park, and uh, you know, it was actually like Warped Tour was actually there. Like that was their Chicago date, but it was
Yeah.
in a suburb. So that was really special for us to play that venue because all of us went to shows there. Like growing up, like seeing really big bands because we played in the amphitheater. Um, and I just remember. it being like very, very surreal. Like I was at my first show there ever when I was a little kid. I saw Spice Girls there. It-
I
yeah,
wasn't
like my
expecting that.
well, my sister and all of her friends went, and my mom was like, "You got to go with
It was
too."
your sister. I'm just kidding.
It was actually a really good show, honestly.
No, I
But
saw them in '99. They were great.
yeah, yeah,
But
it
so
was
I
probably
love
around the
Vans
same
Warped
time.
Tour, and they're coming back. I get to do media again for the Long
Oh,
Beach
cool.
date, and I'm so excited because I grew up on Vans Warped Tour. But I understand what you're saying, like to go from the audience to the stage in that exact venue. That's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, it was really surreal, and like it was. We took a picture after the set, and like it's kind of burned into my memory, the picture, and like everyone was like chanting the band name like after the set, and like yeah, it was like a very like movie moment in my life.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. I'm so excited for Vans Warped Tour to come back. Um, have you ever ate anything off the floor?
I mean, yeah, but like probably not anything too crazy. Like something falls on the floor, like in my house, maybe sure, but like
Yeah.
public, like I'm looking at the floor in this coffee shop. Like if something fell in here, I'm probably good on it. Yeah.
That's a great point, you're right. My house, it doesn't matter what falls, I'm gonna eat it because I clean it a lot, but in the public, maybe if I'm drunk or if it was like a little candy and it was 5 seconds, I would, but not yeah, you're right. Out in public, that's dangerous.
Yes.
So what is coming up for Real Friends? What's next or a 2025 goal for you guys?
I think for us, it's just finishing out this tour and just really getting the record out there to people. And, we're playing a lot of new songs for the first time. So it's getting that live experience for our fans to connect with these new songs in a live setting. Um, so, yeah, this tour, we're going to Mexico after this tour. A couple weeks after this tour ends, we have two shows in Mexico, which I'm really excited for. And then
Nice.
as far as next year goes, just really trying to get out um, and go to places we haven't been, which we're looking into, and just more international stuff, and trying to do stuff with some bands as well that we haven't done stuff with before. Like our new record kind of leans a little heavier, so we are trying to kind of like open ourselves up into that world, crossing our fingers to kind of do some stuff with some heavier bands.
Yeah, Real Friends needs to get on a DWP, like Aftershock, our big festival in Sacramento, and I
That'd
could
be
see you
awesome.
guys, yeah, with some like Motionless in White and heavier acts kind of opening on there. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kyle, so much for stopping by Steph's Rock Show. And wait to see you guys Saturday night, Ace of Spades,